Welcome to Toffee Blue View, your source for all things Everton. I am Gerry. Terry and Max are also here. Christmas has come and gone. Boxing Day came and went as well. I think both of them were kind of great. Just saying. Burnley reaction. It just rained goals. Terry, how are you feeling after that one? Give us your initial thoughts.
Relieved more than anything, because obviously we'd had a really bad run in December, culminating in the Tottenham disaster where we obviously got thoroughly battered, and I was just praying that we'd correct it in this next game, because there's still more games coming up where we can, if we can get results in them as well, can turn a terrible month into a sort of middling month and like arrest the slide. I didn't expect us. I expected a reaction. I thought we would beat Burnley all the time, even before Tottenham and after Tottenham. Both, I never changed in that. I thought, right, Burnley's going to probably be the game where we turn it around, because Burnley are playing really bad at the minute. They're in the bottom three, and obviously, what I didn't expect was just how big a reaction the team got. We did something that I've not seen Everton do probably ever, and I've always thought we had the potential to do, is we come out and blew a team away in the early stages. We came out and put goals on the board and really went after the opposition early and got the result wrapped up early doors, but give ourselves such a good sort of platform to work on. Ever since I've been a supporter, we've never been a fast starting team. We've always sort of grown into matches and been better in the second half on the most part. I was really impressed with how well we played. I thought Bernard's was excellent. Best game in an Everton shirt. I thought Gerry was great. Luca Dean, what more can you say about him? To be honest, a lot of the newer players from this summer all showed why we brought them in. They all came out and said, like, last week the last result wasn't acceptable. It's time to put on a real performance and show what we're made of, and show that we can. We don't like it, and here's our reaction. And I was made up. Fantastic.
How about Big Yarence? Get a little dance going on. I was so happy. Then I was like, everybody, get away from him. Let him finish the dance. Come on, guys. I know you're happy.
I was expecting more from the dance. He just did the sort of like shoulder shimmy and all the gifs you see of him in there. And he's proper giving it some extravagant sort of samba looking thing, and he just sort of shimmy the shoulders, like, Yerens.
I think he was going to get there. But everybody hugged him and wrapped him up, so we didn't actually see it. It's like a build-up dance, you know what I mean? And
no.
Yeah, I was waiting, and then I saw it, and I was like, Zuma, I know you love him. Don't hug him now. Give him a stage really quick. You know? I guess he's just gonna have to score more, so we can watch that. Max, I know you've been waiting to see Big Yerold bring out the dance, yeah?
Yeah, of course. And on a wider scheme, I'm just extremely, like Terry said, I'm relieved that we responded to our biggest loss under Marco Silva with our biggest league win. I think that speaks volumes of the character of the team, which, uncovering as much as we can in terms of character of the side, 6-7 months in to respond like that. It's massive. What was it? 90 seconds on the clock. We've got the first, and by 22 minutes we're 3-0 up. And if you break that down even more, what was even more pleasing to see was the fact that obviously the first goal comes from basically a corner. It was the second ball swung in from a corner. Second one was the second free kick, and the third was the penalty. So it's making chances count, something that we haven't done over this poor run. Being clinical and clearly blowing the opposition away. And something else that I feel that needs to be brought up is how you play with 3 at the back. It looked like 3 at the back, and I thought we did it exceptionally well. Example of it going wrong, Manchester City away. Example of it going right, this game. I thought the 3 centre-halves, had a much better, clear understanding of what they needed to do both on and off the ball. And I thought in terms of playing out from the back and breaking the lines, they looked calm, composed. And I do think Burnley were, closing us down. Obviously not as well as Manchester City, but, they were trying, but we stayed calm and we handled it really well. In terms of pushing the ball forward, I thought Bernard, my man of the match. Actually, you know what? It's funny because you think Luca Dean, obviously.
I knew you were going to be conflicted about this.
I don't know. I'm just really happy at the fact that, you know, these new players, these flair players, are showing what they're made of. I thought Walcott had a really good game as well.
Mm-hmm.
It was, you know, I think I read an article that Marco Silva said to Walcott after the game, that's the Walcott he wanted to see, and it certainly was from a fan point of view as well. I think Terry's highlighted it with Walcott so many times that he plays his best, you know, when he's getting in behind, when he's picking up those pockets of space, and I thought he did that arguably better than he has since he's moved to the club in that game. Although he didn't get on the score sheet, I thought he had a really good game, and everyone else exceptionally well.
Yeah, that was going to be my question though when you started talking about three at the back. That was going to be my first big question. I know we all kind of, last time we discussed systems, and we were all kind of like, you know what, I don't think three at the back's for us. It's not really our. But here's something we got to think about. When there's no Idrissa Gueye.
Yeah.
I think that's the monstrous factor that we got to think about. When there's no Idrissa Gueye, do we feel like we have the personnel to run? You know, I just don't know if Tom Davies and Gomez are really. And I feel like we need to bring somebody in to be able to cover for him at that point, because I don't know if we actually have someone. Otherwise, then we just make sure our guys are ready in terms of our center backs. You know, they ran three at the back as well, which was interesting. Which I felt like that was a respect move on their part for our attack. By the way, their goal was the Burnleyest goal I've ever seen. Has there been a more Burnley goal than that goal?
Pumping the ball into the position of maximum opportunity. I know.
Just pinball. It gets like saved, sorta, and then it goes right to their center back. You know, one of their center backs who doesn't even hit it hard. He just squibs it off to the side, and it just trickles in from the. It was just such a Burnley goal, you know, just from like scrappy hard work. That's the way I always think about their goals.
And did you notice straight after that? I think it was like literally we picked the ball up and went on the attack. Bernard slipped and injured himself. I was thinking, oh, please don't Everton this now. But you know, fair play to them. I think we controlled the game exceptionally well, and yeah, good 3 points there.
I feel like every single one of us. My next question was concerns after that first goal, guys. Every single one of us at this point, we're kind of like, okay, no more. You know, it was definitely one of those, especially because they pressed they were pushing pretty hard there for a little while. And they came out with a really physical game plan. If you watched right after halftime, they were any kind of little after the play shove. It was the way people normally play against us this season. You know what I mean? It was more physical right after halftime. I think it's because there was a deficit there. Maybe they wanted to get us a little angry, which is fully within their, you know. So
well, I loved that not only did we play as well as we did, but we clearly weren't like intimidated by them, and the players were up for. They really dug in and like were up for the battle, and like, no, these are our points. You're not just going to push us, you know, around and bully us out of them. And like everyone just sort of had a running battle with their opposite number, and I love seeing that from the Everton team. Just we've had previous managers where a lot of the fight went out of the team. And it's good to see it back, because that was, love or hate David Moyes, his teams always had that, and it was the foundation of his success, that his teams always fought for each other. And that's what I'm hoping we're building here with all these new players, a sort of team spirit and a togetherness where when you do need a result, or when you do need a reaction from a bad result, you can go out and like dig one out and really go for it. I was really happy to see that.
DCL getting some starting striker mojo going. How are you feeling about DCL as our starting striker at the moment? It seems like people are sort of settling into that at the moment, before the winter window, of course. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Terry, how are you feeling about DCL's performance on Boxing Day?
Feeling good. The shirt is until he loses it now, because he's come in and he's impressed. He's come in and he's done well in games where the team didn't play well, and now this was the first games that he started where the team had won, and you can see he is the template and the mould of the type of striker that the team needs. Whether he's got the quality to stay there long term and the ruthlessness is, in his finishing, it remains to be seen. But at the minute, he's progressed since last season. He's bulked up. He seems to have a little bit more going on upstairs, and I'm happy with him up front. Long may leave him in the team until it becomes too compelling to drop him. Too compelling not to drop him. So I'm happy with him.
I like that. Until it becomes too compelling. That's just I like that. It's just a classy way of saying, you know what? If unless there's a better idea, Yes. That's wonderful. Max, how are you feeling about DCL?
I'm 100% fine with it. I thought he was, again, one of the better players on the pitch, and a huge reason for that, I think Terry underlined it, is that he's got better players around him that are giving him better quality service, and not just that. His interplay with this group of players seemed a lot better to last season, when you look where he was kind of dropped in at the deep end, and more often than not, the isolated number 9, like the only player that would be in and around their box. So to see his development of the play this season it's really pleasing. As you know, I'm critical of him only because for a young striker to lead the line for a club that has ambitions of getting a European slot, I think you need to be showing consistency in terms of your goal return, which he hasn't. But I think this performance is a big, it's hugely promising, because he was getting involved with the play. And I think if you look at the sequence of play that happened just before that free kick was given for Luca, the free kick that Luca Dean scored, I know he took a heavy touch, but for him to be involved and to be in and around the build-up, and seems like he's understanding Marco Silva's philosophy of football, because you may not commonly associate him as being the striker that a Marco Silva team would want. I know, Gerry, you've said plenty of times it seemed like more made for an Aguero fit. But I do, as I say, there's been a development physically, technically, and you can't drop him at the minute because he's playing exceptionally well.
I would agree, and I think the main thing that a striker for Silva needs is speed. You know what I mean? It could be an Aguero type player, but DCL is really, really fast. He's a very, very fast player. And the thing is that I've started to appreciate more and more about him. He combines well with other players. He really does. He gets his head up, and because he's bulking up, his hold-up play is getting better. It's great. It's just he's kind of in development. I don't know if he'll be our starter in 2 months. We may be bringing someone in who's already developed, but I like the idea of him getting development now and us not taking backwards steps because of it. You know what I mean? Sometimes you're wanting to push a player in there to develop, and your team suffers because of that, and that's rough. That's not easy. But right now, it's heck yeah, get him in there. Let's do it, man. I love watching him play because his confidence is just growing, even if he's not scoring every game. It's the fact that he feels like the manager believes in him, and the other players do. Yeah, I'm doing all right with DCL. Still think we need another striker during the window. That doesn't negate the need, but anyway. All right. Anything else on this, guys?
No.
Nope.
All right. Well, I guess that's it for our Burnley match reaction. Smiles abound. Also, a few wipes of the brow. That's relief. So if you've been digging the videos, please subscribe to the Toffee Blues YouTube channel. We would sincerely appreciate it. If you want more Terry, and the world wants more Terry, check out the Liverpool Echo fan Gerry. He'll tell you on his Twitter when he's showing up there. Max is a machine who just spews out content in his sleep. So check out his Twitter. He'll tell you where and when he'll be showing up. But he also happens to show up on the Toffee Blues website. Does a lot of analysis on there. Yeah, find Max there is the short of that. So, gentlemen, we're going to move on, do a Brighton preview, because the season doesn't stop just because we're happy, which is a shame. So, guys, see you in a minute, and bye.